So I think I can speak for both of us in saying that Generation 6 is our favorite console generation. Both grew up PS2 kids.
Generation 6, I think it's my favorite generation of gaming. PS2, GameCube, original Xbox, and the console everyone forgets, the Dreamcast. Today we're focusing on the OG Xbox.
The original Xbox has really found a place in our heart over the last 3 or 4 years since we started the channel, and a big part of it is it's super cheap to collect for. We love the GameCube, we love the PS2, but some of the games are kind of like, oh, I don't know if I can afford that. Typically, not always, but typically original Xbox stuff is super cheap. Then you get the backwards compatibility sometimes on the 360 and sometimes on the Xbox One. So it's neither here nor there, but we've been collecting and playing the shit out of the original Xbox. So in line with this series, we're like, this one should be real easy to talk about. And we picked some freaking bangers.
10 games we still play in 2022 in hopefully under 10 minutes. Let's freaking do it.
I want to start this list off with a really fun fighting game, and we're not big fighting games fans unless it's the right type of fighting game, and when I say the right type of fighting game, yeah, I'm speaking about a little game called Kung Fu Chaos.
This game is ridiculous. It's a beat-em-up fighter / party game in like a grindhouse, but not quite grindhouse. There's a lot of elements of different things in this game, and it's so much fun.
But the idea is you just throw people off the map. You want to stun them, you want to grab them, you want to say, ah, get out of here.
You basically are like in a movie set, and the director is like filming a movie, but then you're fighting and it's part of the movie, and you gotta get to the end of the level and have the most lives to win.
I don't think anybody that clicks on this video, if you played this with some buddies, you would not have a good time. It was actually recommended to us a while back by Gabo the Giver.
This is a really cool game, very fun. So yeah, dude, you guys should play this one too.
There's a mini game that I don't even know what it is, but you're on these platforms and there's this crane that spins and you have to hit it or jump over, and the crane starts going so fast. Dude, I did terrible at this. I don't think I killed anybody in it, but I was laughing so hard. The crane, dude, play the crane mission in Kung Fu Chaos. This game is amazing.
You ever went back to first-person shooters from Generation 6 after playing the modern stuff? Sometimes it's like, I used to like that. There's a game though that it stands the test of time. I think it's one of the best first-person shooters of Gen 6. And you might be thinking, oh, I know what's coming. No, you don't. Black.
This game is awesome. It's a first-person shooter that is so beautiful, so well done. I love the cutscenes. I love, like, in between missions, it's like a movie, and like the cinematography in the cutscenes is amazing. The sound effects in this game are so, you feel like you're in war. You feel like a badass too, because it's you versus basically a whole army, like all video games are. It's like, all right, one guy takes on the whole army, makes sense.
The environments are semi-destructible. It's just really, really, really good. It's really fun. It is backwards compatible with the Xbox One, and when you play it through HDMI, holy freaking cannoli, Hank.
Ravioli? Holy cannoli.
One drawback of this game is there's no multiplayer, so it's a single-player romp, but it's just a great game, and we put it in to get screen cap for this, and here we just go, and it's like mission, and, you know, the screen cap for this episode took us an entire day, no joke, like 12 hours of screen cap, because we couldn't stop playing games, but Black is awesome.
One of my favorite games of all time, Burnout 3, Takedown.
I don't have a frame of reference of how good this game is on PS2 because I did not play the Burnout games growing up. Shame on me. Robert did, and he introduced me to this game, and if there was a game that I owed him amount of gratitude for telling me about, I can't think of one that would be more than this.
It sucks that we 100%ed it because I don't have like a purpose anymore, but I kind of just want to start a new file and then do it again. That's how good this game is. It's amazing.
It's became a top 10 of all time video game for me. I love the Burnout series, and Burnout 3 Takedown, I can't explain why it's the best in the series other than it's a feel thing. I just like how it feels. It makes sense.
Burnout 3 Takedown, incredible game. Check it out if you haven't.
He doesn't get much better, man.
A launch title for the original Xbox, Fusion Frenzy. It's a party game.
Party game, yes, but it's a party game in the sense that a party game is meeting American Gladiators? Yeah, that's Fusion Frenzy.
I will say this game thrives more in a party setting than it does even co-op because the computer's annoying as hell. They're really, really good. Either that or we're really bad. I guess I don't know which way it goes. Probably the latter rather than the former. It's a game that, it's weird because I'm very competitive, and when I lose at shit, I get pissed. I get really, really pissed. I don't ever really get too pissed when I play this game. I'm just having fun. We're laughing. All the games seemingly come down to a very like photo finish situation, and that's just fun.
There's a character in this game called Zach. And I don't know if he's OP or something, but every time the computer is Zach, I want to punch him in the face.
Zach Shellac in the Ack Pack.
But Fusion Frenzy on the original Xbox is a joy, and it's another just bottom of the barrel, cheap ass game that you can pick up for next to nothing. And if you've got some friends around or kiddos, family to play it with, it's just a no-brainer. You gotta have Fusion Frenzy.
Gauntlet Dark Legacy. When I was younger, I kind of stayed away from the Gauntlet series because they have like RPG elements, and I was like, man, I'm not really into RPG games. But then when I dove into like Gauntlet Dark Legacy, I was like, oh, it's arcadey, it's beat 'em up with a slight RPG taste.
I don't hear a lot of people talk about Dark Legacy, or when they do talk about it, they talk about the GameCube version. We have it on Xbox. There's no other reason that it's in this video and wasn't in the PS2 or the GameCube video, but that's just what we have it on.
This game is badass. Even one player is pretty fun, but the way to do it is 4-player. One of my dreams is to sit down with 4 people and beat this in one sitting. That would be incredible. It's just so much fun. It's so stupid. And then you're in the middle of a level and all of a sudden death shows up and he starts chasing you down and you gotta like kill him off with magic.
This game's fantastic. Again, it's 1 to 4 players, which is just awesome from this era. You know, the Xbox has 4 controller ports. It's a multi-playing hammer, and Dark Legacy is just a true joy.
Another arcade game, Arctic Thunder. This game is so stupid. It's just like arcade racing on snowmobiles in crazy levels. It's just like Hydro Thunder or Cruisin' Blast or all that kind of stuff.
It reminds me a lot of the Cruisin' Blast game in a weird way that just came out on Nintendo Switch. You know those games, they feel really easy. This game kind of does too, but I'll tell you this, it's not easy to get first place, and it's not easy to be good at this game. It's one of those racing games kind of like Cruisin' Blast that I feel like it's almost kind of got you on runners in a way. Like you can't really get too far off the track, and when you get the speed boost, it's just like...
There's sometimes where like you're driving on snow and you're going so fast that the screen is just white. And you're like, dude, I can't even see anything. I'm laughing. It doesn't matter. You're hitting walls.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
If you get a rocket and your buddy's in front of you and you know he worked his ass off to get up there, and you can just say, "Hiya! Hadouken!" Feels really good. All right. Let me take a drink here.
This next game is not pretty cheap on the OG Xbox. This game is pretty pricey. But this game is badass, and that's Def Jam Fight for New York. Wrestling mixed with hip hop on the streets? Okay, you got my attention. This game is a blast.
If you're a fan of the N64 wrestling games, you would find yourself right at home here because it's from the same developers. They lost the licensing for the WWE, and they had the brilliant idea of, we don't have wrestlers anymore, let's get rappers.
I suck at this game, but it's still fun. Like I feel like sometimes I can do pretty well, and then I always lose. And then you can do like up to 4 people. You can have like AIs, you know, and that's also fun because it's just like a free-for-all like cage match, but you're in the streets.
This is one to play with a friend. I feel like it is fun single player. But man, when you knock out your friend in this game, it really, you just look at him with a grin on your face like, how did that feel? Because the finishers in this are so over the top.
It's just like this weird mixture of just chaos and fun, and Def Jam Fight for New York is such like a great wrestling game that's not a wrestling game, if that makes sense.
Spikeout Battle Street. It's a Sega game. It's a beat 'em up. If you've played Urban Chaos, that's an Namco game from this era. You kind of maybe have an idea where we're going.
This is such a fun beat 'em up with crazy weapons, boss fights. The music's pretty good, but it's also like Sega arcade, you know? There's a time limit. It's kind of cheesy. It's ridiculous.
Every character in it's a douchebag. It's very much like early aughts music video with douchey guys in tank tops, and that's what it is. It's very fun to play. Single player has a more flushed out story mode with cutscenes and everything. When you play co-op, you're just dealing with the actual game and you don't get the cutscenes, but that's fine. Who wants cutscenes when you're playing a co-op beat 'em up?
Check it out if you can, dude. I know it's kind of pricey, but I would highly recommend this one.
The Punisher. This game is one of my favorite games from Gen 6. I found out about it a while back. Megadan29 has it on PS2 and was like, dude, you gotta play this game.
This game is incredible. It looks beautiful. We played on the Xbox 360, so obviously it's HDMI and it's kind of upscale a little bit. You know how some comic booky games, that they're kiddie, and this is comic booky, but not kiddie, dude. Crazy kills, amazing weapons.
The element about it that I really like is it's very pick up and play because it's chapter based. So you don't get caught too often where like, man, I can't get out of this, or I can't save it and be done for right now. You just play a chapter, and if you got time to do that, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
The different kills, the different like interrogations. This is a game when we were getting screen cap, we played for 2 hours. And we could have kept going.
There are some kills that make you feel like you're a little nuts, because when they happen, you're like, feels so good.
Check out The Punisher if you have not played it. It's also on PS2, I believe, but we have it for OG Xbox. I cannot recommend this game enough.
The Xbox has a way of, in my mind anyways, I think some other people's too, it's kind of like the Dreamcast too. And one of my favorite games on Dreamcast was Jet Grind Radio. Well, Jet Set Radio Future is on the original Xbox, and it's badass.
Roller skating, graffiti, running from the cops, you're in like a street gang. The music's awesome. I just love like the art style of this game. I love the way it plays.
I have heard people say, well, I don't like skating games. I've heard notable YouTubers like, oh, I'm not into Jet Set Radio Future because I don't like skating games. Is it a skating game though? It's got skate elements. I don't think it's a skating game at its core. Sega, what are you doing with these games? Can we get a new one? Can we get a remake? What do you? I see you put up shirts on your website. Like, so I know you know it still exists. Can we get something? Anyway, Jet Set Radio Future, kind of expensive if you buy the solo single copy, but if you get the one paired with Sega GT Racing something or another, it's really cheap.
Our 10 minutes is up. We talked about 10 games we're still playing in 2022, but there's more games we're playing. So we're gonna do some real quick honorable mentions. Let's check them out.
NFL Blitz 2002 is so good. We got screen cap for this episode, and it's just fun. It was almost like we were filming the episodes for our NFL playoff series that we do. You just get right back into where you left off, and that competitive of just wanting to beat a buddy in NFL Blitz, there's not much that really gets you more fired up than that. So that would be one.
NBA Street and NFL Blitz 02. Amazing pick up and play arcade games. I love the Blitz games. I love the NBA Street games. They're just so much fun because they're sporty, but they're arcadey and they're over the top, and you feel like even if you suck at sports games, you might have a chance. I think NBA Street, if you suck, you will get destroyed, but NFL Blitz, there is some rubber banding, which is nice, you know, interceptions, stuff like that, but amazing arcade sports games. I know they're available on other consoles, but we have them for OG Xbox.
Outrun 2. That would be another one I have to throw on here. Just a quick, easy in and out racer. It's a lot of fun. It can be kind of difficult, actually. It's really hard sometimes to hit those checkpoints and stuff, but it's a beautiful game. Almost arcade perfect, I would say.
Outlaw Volleyball. We have Outlaw Volleyball and then Outlaw Volleyball Red Hot. We played a lot of Red Hot. Red Hot, I think, is exclusive. This game is so much fun. And what's crazy about Outlaw Volleyball Red Hot, I think it's just Red Hot, or maybe it's all of them, I don't know, is the narrator is freaking Michael Scott. Obviously, it's not this Michael Scott, it's the guy who plays Michael Scott, but it's so funny because I didn't realize that. We were playing it and I was like, who is that voice? I figured it out, dude. It's
Michael Scarn.
Yeah, Michael Scarn, dude. This game is incredible. It's not as good as Beach Spikers, because Beach Spikers is like perfect, but this is still really fun. It's a lot harder, I will say that, because you have to like get to your spots, but it's a blast.
Halo 2. Yeah, that's a fun one. The co-op mode's really fun. Multiplayer mode's really fun. We do play this quite a bit on the original Xbox, but if we're gonna play Halo, we're probably gonna be on 360, like in the Halo 3 realm. But Halo 2 is just so good, and the co-op piece is kind of what we would mostly play. We don't do a lot of 4-player on the original Xbox anymore these days, but the 2-player co-op's a good time. But anyway, the Xbox alive and well in 2022. Super cheap to collect for. I don't know how long that's going to last. But if you're inclined, you don't want to be that person that's like, oh, I missed the window of being able to play on the original Xbox. And the fun part, I think, with Microsoft is that backwards compatibility. Some of these games, not all of these games, you can play on your Xbox 360. That's where I play the Punisher, the 360. It looks great through HDMI. And some of them you can play on Xbox One. Not all of them. I didn't want to go through the research of telling you which ones you could play on what. So you've got Google. You can probably figure it out. That's what I do. So anyway, Xbox is fire, and it's fun. All hail to Generation 6 and the original Xbox.
So those are Xbox games we still play in 2022 and some honorable mentions. Guys, stay tuned for the next video. We got to complete Generation 6, so there's only one console left. What would that be? Sega, Dreamcast. That one's going to be fun, dude. But it's going to be pretty pricey. Stay tuned for that.